Already. First of all, sorry for the delay. There's a bit of technical difficulties. Selamat tengah hari kepada Yang Berusaha Encik Mahadhir Aziz, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Kebadan Ekonomi Digital Malaysia, Nicole Tan, Pengarah Negara Meta Malaysia, rakan-rakan media dan para hadirin sekalian. Nama saya Serena Siu dan saya Ketua Komunikasi Korporat di Meta. Dan bagi pihak Meta dan MDEC, kami mengucapkan terima kasih kerana menyumbangkan masa hari ini bersama kita sempena majlis pelancaran JomCelikDigital Dengan Meta. Saya amat berasa teruja sebab sesi hari ini sekarang berlangsung di pejabat Meta di KL dan kami berharap kita akan dapat kembali kepada sesi bersemuka sekali lagi di masa depan. Bersama saya hari ini adalah Nicole Tan, Pengarah Malaysia Meta, dan Yang Berusaha Encik Mahadhir Aziz, Pegawai Eksekutif MDEC, yang akan menyampaikan ucapan keynote mereka sebentar lagi. Tapi peringatan untuk rakan-rakan media di atas talian, jika anda ingin mengumpulkan soalan kepada jurucakap kita hari ini, sila berbuat demikian melalui butang Q&A di skrin Zoom anda dekat bawah, dan kita akan mengadakan sesi Q&A di akhir penghujung sesi hari ini. Sebelum kita bermula, mari kita lihat video pendek memaparkan coretan PKS di Malaysia yang telah pun berjaya mendigitalkan perusahaan dan bisnes mereka. Mari kita melihat video ini.
My name is Colin Yong. I'm the owner of Jadi Batik Gallery.
I'm Shirley from Mu Artisan Soy Sauce.
Hi, saya Titi dari Laman Chicken.
My name is Kim. I'm now a full-time cake artist.
My name is Vishal and I'm currently the owner of North Indian Food Catering Business in Penang.
We engage with customers online through IG and WhatsApp.
Facebook and Instagram.
WhatsApp, Facebook dan juga Instagram.
It's the most cost-effective and direct way to have two-way communication between us and customers.
Semasa PKP yang lalu kami sangat-sangat terkesan lah. Kami nampak salah satu cara untuk kami survive ialah kami buat perniagaan online lah.
A picture paints 1,000 words, so my cakes definitely need a good online social presence.
To reach out their audiences with engaging content helps to build their trust and also express their brand personality.
Technology change very fast and we need to learn new skills so that our business be more competitive and be more relevant to the market.
To be in touch with the world and also be informed with the current trends.
To pick up new skills, new trends, new features, whichever suits to keep your online business right on track.
Yep, my mic is on. Thank you. Salam sejahtera diucapkan kepada Yang Berusaha Encik Mahadhir Aziz, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Kebadan Ekonomi Digital Malaysia atau MDEC, rakan-rakan media dalam talian dan para hadirin sekalian. Selamat Ramadan Mubarak. Pertama sekali, bagi pihak Meta Malaysia, saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua hadirin sekalian, terutamanya kepada tetamu kehormat kita Yang Berusaha Encik Mahadhir Aziz, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Kebadan Ekonomi Digital Malaysia MDEC. Thank you for being here. Di atas kesudian untuk hadir ke majlis pelancaran JomCelikDigital Dengan Meta hari ini. Saya berasa amat teruja kerana dapat berdiri di sini pada hari ini bersama hadirin sekalian untuk memperkasa pembangunan teknologi bersama MDEC melalui pelbagai program untuk para peniaga serta komuniti di Malaysia. Para hadirin sekalian, transformasi pendigitalan bukan lagi satu kemewahan, tetapi keperluan, terutamanya bagi perniagaan yang menghadapi pelbagai cabaran dalam tempoh yang tidak pernah berlaku sebelum ini berikutan pandemik COVID-19. Di samping itu, perkembangan teknologi digital terkini membawa perubahan modal perniagaan sedia ada dan penciptaan baharu, pengenalan produk dan perkhidmatan baru serta peningkatan kecukupan proses perniagaan yang akhirnya menjadikan perniagaan lebih berdaya saing, terutamanya di kalangan usahawan serta perusahaan kecil dan sederhana atau PKS. Apabila semakin banyak perniagaan menggunakan kaedah digital untuk bekerja, persaingan yang sihat dan saksama harus diwujudkan untuk perniagaan dan bakat muda. Para hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, Meta committed untuk terus memainkan peranan kami dan berusaha bersama dengan agensi-agensi kerajaan seperti MDEC di dalam memacu agenda rangka tindakan blueprint ekonomi digital Malaysia demi peningkatan kemahiran digital untuk masyarakat di Malaysia. Malah, sejak tahun 2019 lagi, Meta telah bekerjasama dengan MDEC melalui inisiatif e-usahawan MDEC dan melatih 2,000 jurulatih yang bertanggungjawab untuk menerapkan nilai ilmu keusahawanan digital program ini untuk bertujuan melatih lebih 5,000 PKS untuk menjana pendapatan tambahan melalui platform digital. Pada tahun 2021, bersama MDEC, dengan kempen Let's Learn Digital, kami menjangkau pencari pekerjaan dan PKS melalui pensijilan pemasaran digital. Setakat ini, kami telah menerima lebih 2,000 pelatih dan memberi pensijilan kepada 1,054 pencari nafkah pada tahun yang sama. Selain itu, kami juga membina rangkaian jurulatih bertauliah Meta daripada MDEC yang berkemampuan untuk memberi latihan dan khidmat nasihat tentang penggunaan aplikasi dan servis yang disediakan oleh Meta. Pada masa ini, kami telah pun melatih seramai 30 jurulatih bertauliah Meta di bawah MDEC dan kami merancang untuk melatih 20 orang jurulatih lagi pada waktu terdekat ini. Melalui inisiatif-inisiatif yang telah kami bina sejak 3 tahun lalu, kami berbesar hati untuk meneruskan inisiatif Meta bagi meluaskan jangkauan dan skop program peningkatan kemahiran aplikasi dan servis di Meta agar tiada siapa ketinggalan di dalam transformasi pendigital negara. JomCelikDigital dengan Meta terdiri daripada 4 program peningkatan kemahiran yang merangkumi seluruh rangkaian aplikasi Meta seperti berikut. Yang pertamanya adalah Meta Boost. Program Meta Boost bertujuan untuk membawa bengkel pendidikan percuma dan ia direka untuk memperkasakan lebih daripada 1,000 IKS di seluruh negara yang paling terjejas akibat pandemik dengan kemahiran digital yang boleh membantu mereka berinteraksi dan berhubung dengan berkesan. Yang kedua adalah Pasar WhatsApp, program yang menyasarkan lebih daripada 1,000 pemilik perniagaan kecil dan mikro bertujuan untuk memperkenalkan kepada pelbagai ciri aplikasi WhatsApp Business dalam mendigitalkan perniagaan menerusi platform yang mudah dan biasa digunakan. Peserta akan diperkenalkan dengan setiap ciri aplikasi terutama yang dapat mempertingkatkan perniagaan semasa bulan Ramadan. Ketiga adalah IG Academy atau Instagram Academy. Program latihan melalui Akademi IG ini direka untuk memberi sokongan kepada lebih 1,000 usahawan dan IKS tempatan dengan peralatan Instagram dan bahan pendidikan agar dapat berhubung dengan pelanggan dan komuniti menerusi cara yang lebih melibat. Contohnya melalui video pendek seperti Reels yang kita baru lancar di Malaysia. Meta Blueprint for Higher Education Program bertujuan untuk melengkapkan pelajar dengan kemahiran pemasaran digital dunia sebenar serta menyokong para pendidik dalam memupuk bakat yang mahir digital. Ia menyasarkan penyertaan 1,000 pelajar dan 500 pentaliahan dalam Blueprint Digital Marketing Associate atau Blueprint DMA. Besar harapan kami di Meta agar segala program dan inisiatif yang diperkenalkan hari ini secara tidak langsung akan memberi tumpuan penting untuk meningkat dan merangsang daya tahan ekonomi digital negara. Seterusnya, ia akan membantu rakyat dan perniagaan yang terkesan akibat COVID-19. Selain itu, ekonomi digital gelombang baru ini juga mampu mewujudkan pelbagai peluang perniagaan serta pekerjaan sekaligus meningkatkan pendapatan rakyat secara menyeluruh, termasuk komuniti di luar bandar. Sebelum mengakhiri ucapan saya mewakili rakan-rakan kerja di Meta. Sekali lagi, saya ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada semua pihak terlibat yang telah bekerjasama untuk bersama-sama menjayakan inisiatif Jom Celik Digital dengan Meta pada hari ini. Sekian, terima kasih dan selamat berpuasa. Now I'd like to invite Encik Mahadhir to make his keynote.
Thank you. Terima kasih Puan Iku dan Country Director Pengarah Negara Meta Malaysia. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rakan media, rakan kongsi, hadirin sekalian dan juga rakan-rakan yang berada di atas talian. Saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Meta Malaysia kerana menganjurkan majlis yang penuh dengan konten pada hari ini dan menjemput saya untuk turut serta dalam pelancaran Jom Celik Digital dengan Meta. Saya amat berbesar hati kerana berada di sini di mana inisiatif peningkatan kemahiran digital terbesar Meta di Malaysia setakat ini bukan sahaja satu pencapaian yang penting bagi mereka, malah juga untuk negara dalam perjalanan kami untuk menjadi sebuah negara digital. Jom Celik Digital dengan Meta dilancarkan tepat pada masanya. Malaysia ketika ini berada di fasa perubahan dalam ekonomi digital. Menurut Jabatan Statistik Malaysia ataupun DOSA, Department of Statistics Malaysia, buat pertama kali dalam sejarah Malaysia, pendapatan e-dagang Malaysia telah melepasi paras 1 trilion ringgit pada tahun lepas, iaitu 2021. Kami semua berada di landasan yang betul dalam mencapai aspirasi negara, iaitu merekodkan 1.65 trilion ringgit menjelang 2025. Ini disokong melalui pendekatan satu negara dalam Pelan Hala 7 Strategik E-Dagang atau National E-Commerce Strategic Roadmap NESR yang dirajui oleh MDEC. NESR merupakan satu batu loncatan ke arah digital trade, iaitu memanfaatkan peluang-peluang yang ada dalam pendigitalan. Perdagangan digital di Malaysia dijangka akan mendapat faedah yang ketara menerusi ratifikasi perjanjian kerjasama ekonomi komprehensif serantau atau RCEP. Malaysia merupakan antara 15 buah negara yang menandatangani RCEP, di mana pada asasnya ia merupakan perjanjian perdagangan bebas ataupun free trade agreement yang terbesar di dunia setakat ini. Ini bermakna perniagaan tempatan kini mempunyai akses dan peluang yang luas di dalam blok perdagangan terbesar di dunia. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian yang di sini dan juga online, berdasarkan perkembangan terbaru berkenaan, MDEC dan Kerajaan Malaysia sepenuhnya komited untuk memastikan semua rakyat memiliki kemahiran dan juga peralatan bagi meraih faedah daripada ekonomi digital. Kempen Saya Digital di MDEC merupakan platform kepada perniagaan di Malaysia, khususnya perusahaan kecil dan sederhana dan perusahaan medium DMKS untuk mengadaptasi digital. Antara program utamanya ialah kempen Go E-Commerce Onboarding dan juga Shop Malaysia Online. Setakat Oktober tahun lepas, 2021, kempen berkenaan telah berjaya membantu lebih 500,000 perniagaan untuk mengguna pakai platform e-dagang dan juga sistem e-bayar. Secara keseluruhannya, mereka telah berjaya menjana lebih 85 juta transaksi dengan nilai barangan kasar gross value lebih daripada 4.6 bilion ringgit. Yang paling penting daripada ini, out of the 500,000, 500,000 perniagaan berkenaan, kita ada lebih daripada 157,000 usahawan wanita specifically. Jadi melalui inisiatif-inisiatif yang baru sahaja diumumkan di dalam Malaysia Digital, MDEC akan berusaha untuk memupuk dan mengembangkan ekosistem ekonomi digital yang saling menyokong antara satu sama lain. Penambahbaikan Malaysia Digital akan meningkatkan nilai tambah ekonomi digital menerusi inisiatif pemangkin yang pada akhirnya akan memberi manfaat kepada rakyat menerusi peluang baru dan juga tawaran pengetahuan digital. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, memaju ekonomi digital Malaysia adalah satu langkah yang tidak boleh dilakukan secara bersendirian oleh MDEC sahaja. Jadi kami di MDEC sangat bertuah kerana memiliki rakan ekosistem utama seperti Meta Malaysia yang menyediakan sokongan penting menerusi kepakaran dan juga program-program penyelesaian yang ada di Meta Malaysia. Meta Malaysia memiliki rekod yang panjang dalam menyumbang ke arah pendigitalan Malaysia dan saya mengucapkan jutaan terima kasih di atas komitmen jangka panjang anda dan Meta Malaysia seluruhnya di Malaysia dan kepada rakyat Malaysia. MDEC dan Meta Malaysia telah bekerjasama dalam pelbagai inisiatif yang telah tadi Nicole share sejak pelancaran Meta Malaysia Blueprint Certification Program pada 2019 menerusi program LANGSUNG Digital dan juga e-usahawan MDEC. JomCelikDigital dengan Meta dirangka untuk menyediakan akses yang saksama dalam meningkatkan kemahiran digital rakyat Malaysia seluruhnya yang seterusnya akan melengkapkan inisiatif yang ada di MDEC, terutamanya dalam memperkasa PBS luar bandar dengan akses dan kemahiran e-dagang. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan tahniah kepada Meta Malaysia di atas pelancaran JomCelikDigital dengan Meta yang pastinya akan memberi manfaat kepada rakyat Malaysia dalam mengadaptasi ekonomi digital. MDEC bersedia untuk menjalin lebih banyak kerjasama dengan Meta Malaysia untuk kita bersama-sama memacu negara Malaysia menjadi negara yang digital, yang progresif dan juga dipacu oleh inovasi. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih Encik Mahadhir atas ucapan anda. Kami berharap MDEC, Meta Malaysia dan pihak-pihak berkenaan akan terus bekerjasama dalam usaha untuk merealisasikan misi transformasi digital negara kita. Mari kita sekarang beralih kepada Q&A session dengan Nicole dengan Encik Mahadhir. Dipersilakan hadir ke hadapan Nicole, Encik Mahadhir. So we've got some questions coming in along the way during the keynote speech. So I'll start with the first question from Vanessa from The Age. How is Meta planning to shortlist the B40 SMBs for the Meta Boost program? What are the criteria that make these businesses eligible for this program? Nicole, would you like to take this?
Yes, sure. Thank you for the question. So as you can see, what we've done is when we looked at the 4 programs, we wanted to make sure that we have equitable access and that there were programs for businesses of every size, every kind, and for every stage as well. One highlight I would share is Pasar WhatsApp. One criteria or one of the things that we look at is making sure that the B40, where sometimes they may have broadband connectivity limitations, Pasar WhatsApp is very low in broadband use, and it's something that is very easy because it's part of the WhatsApp interface. It's very easy for these micro and smaller businesses to get to learn all the different aspects of JomCelikDigital. So there will be all 4 programs, and each of the programs will have different strengths and different uses. For micros and smaller businesses, Pasar WhatsApp is definitely one of the ones that we would recommend for them to sign up for. So businesses can sign up for it and they can decide which are the ones that is most relevant for their business.
Thank you, Nicole. I think that really makes sense, right? That's the purpose of the program, which is like no one should be left behind, and there's always an upskilling program for everybody in Malaysia. Now, moving on to the second question, I think this is from Encik Mahadhir. The question comes from Hazwan dari Berita Harian. Tahun lepas perbelanjaan e-dagang cecah RM1 triliun. Bagaimana dengan tahun ini? Adakah masih boleh pasti nilai RM1 triliun juga?
Kalau berdasarkan data-data yang kami ada dan juga trend, kami yakin kita should be lebih daripada 1 trilion, maknanya konsisten dengan target yang kita ada menjelang tahun 2025. Again, kita boleh sandarkan sedikit data tu based on the MCO and situation MCO yang kita ada yang actually menyebabkan there's a spike in kita punya data in terms of transaksi dan sebagainya. Tetapi the momentum is there. Itu yang I think very important is that kita kena bawa lagi program-program yang baru dan juga yang lebih meluas dan cover segala aspek of the demographics to be able to be part of this in order to maintain and sustain rather the momentum moving forward.
Thank you, Encik Mahadhir. There's actually a follow-up questions regarding to this, and the question is like this. So, you talk a lot about all the initiatives that MDEC has been doing for the digital transformation of the country. Can you tell us a bit more about MDEC's Saya Digital Initiative, and how will today's Meta programs sit well within it?
Okay. The Saya Digital campaign, if you may, is basically covering 4 major aspects. One would be looking at basic literacy in terms of how to actually use digital tools. Then the second part is basically untuk perniagaan. So this is where we bring people who have been doing business offline into online. So that within that we have the Go e-commerce onboarding dan program yang similar to that. And then the third one is about perniagaan where you can pendapatan rather, where you can increase and improve your revenue moving forward. So you have businesses online already, maybe in one form or another, and then we move it into a different platform. And then the last one within Saya Digital is basically on human capital ataupun modal insan atau kami bakat sebagainya lah. So this would be something that we are running under Saya Digital. When we look at the components that we have under JomCelikDigital dengan Meta, it's actually very much similar. It's quite consistent with the things that we've been running together with Meta since 2019, where it's complementary. So we are looking at specific platforms, like I think Nicole mentioned about not having or not leaving anyone behind. So we have different choices in terms of platforms, whether it's WhatsApp, Instagram, or even Facebook, for us to be able to do this together with the talent side for the certification as well. So we feel that the harmonization is almost right in the beginning when we do this. So it is natural for us to be able to do the collaboration together with Meta.
Thank you, and we're glad that we are hitting it off right and the right track together to really drive the broader mission for the country itself. The next questions I think is for Nicole. Since today's agenda is really about upskilling, right, getting everyone on board to the journey of transformation. Why do you think it's important for Malaysians to now access their digital skills and capabilities? Why is it more important now than ever?
Yeah, in 2021 we shared our latest C-Sync study, and one of the very interesting statistics that showed up is that Malaysians is one of the highest digital penetrated consumers at 88% versus the rest of Southeast Asia. So if you think about the last 5 years, we have seen digital acceleration happen so quickly, and out of all the Southeast Asian countries, Malaysia is right up at the front with 88% penetration of digital consumers, higher than everybody else. It's very clear to us that the consumer is already moving very quickly into online with digital acceleration, and we need to make sure that businesses are following. We've also seen that businesses have really also perhaps due to the pandemic, moved very quickly into online to continue to drive their businesses, testing out new things, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on WhatsApp, with WhatsApp for Business. So it's really important that we see these two trends where the consumers are moving as well as where businesses are. And the reason why we're doing JomCelikDigital is because we understand this fast acceleration also means we have to make sure upskilling happens, not just with one aspect, but we're across all of the applications that we have. And as Serena mentioned, we want to make sure no one is left behind, especially with the micro and the smaller businesses. We brought in Pasar WhatsApp so that they can very also easily and quickly get access to digital upskilling and education through WhatsApp.
Thank you, Nicole. We have a follow-up question from Vanessa from DH as well. So I think Vanessa is a bit keen to know a little bit more about Blueprint program.
Sure.
So the question is, are you working with local universities on this? And where can students easily go sign up for this?
Yeah. So for all the programs, they can all sign up at the JomCelikDigital website link, which we will definitely share with our friends in the media. Specifically on the Blueprint Higher Education, yes, this is a program where we are looking to train trainers and making sure that they increase the number of Blueprint Digital Market Association certifications.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole. We actually have an event, there's actually a program page where we can share with you after this and can click on it to get to know more about the details of the programs and also how to sign up, the eligibility as well. So we'll share that after this event. There's also a question for Encik Mahadhir from Vanessa as well, DH. You mentioned there was more than 170K female, but I think the right number is 157K female entrepreneurs. Do you think this is encouraging, and does MDEC have any plans to spur more female entrepreneurs?
Well, that's very much one of the big agenda that we have in MDEC when we look at entrepreneurs. So there are certain types of demographics that we are trying to build while we look at the B40, while we look at different localities. Right? B40 is not concentrated only in the Klang Valley side, but there's other areas as well. So definitely women entrepreneurs is something that we're looking at, but it has to look at the suitability of this in terms of what they are selling and how they are getting online and what form or platform rather that they are doing it. So I was with at another event again, and we were pushing on these women entrepreneurs, and to them basically, no, it's just entrepreneurs, they just happen to be women. So again, we want to actually bring that up and actually put this achievements for the rest of Malaysia to actually recognize and support.
Thank you, Encik Mahadhir. What about Nicole, like from Meta Malaysia side of things, is there any specific things or initiatives that you are doing to basically support more women SMBs as well in the country?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that question. It's very interesting. I think Encik Mahadhir shared about 157,000 businesses. On our platforms during the period of the pandemic, we actually saw, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a 25% increase of businesses owned by women coming onto platforms like Instagram, as well as a high percentage of Facebook business managers or business accounts are also owned by, or are women, or they declare themselves as women. And so I think that's interesting that we've seen in this pandemic that we have seen an increase of women entrepreneurs coming onto our platforms. I believe there are plans for us to continue to support women entrepreneurship. But I think broadly for JomCelikDigital, at this stage, what we want to make sure is that with all 4 programs, they were across genders and across the different demographies, locations, as well as making sure that we think through, as we mentioned with micro, as well as Instagram, where we're looking at more creative, more involvement, more engagement, and higher education. We're trying to cover as many different demographies as possible.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for stressing on the inclusion and diversity of the businesses that we're looking at to support. Back to Encik Mahadhir. You mentioned at the earlier of the Q&A session about the Saya Digital Initiative. How does this actually factor into the Malaysian Digital Initiative that you have announced back in January at the Expo 2020 in Dubai?
Okay. Malaysian Digital Initiative is the big national initiative that is the successor to Multimedia Super Corridor Malaysia. So that would be the overarching plan for anything that we do within this and what MDEC drives as far as digital economy is concerned. Saya Digital, however, is a bit more grounded. It is a bit more focusing on the adoption side, on building the supply, on the human capital, and building the right capacity, not only from the skill side, but also from the ecosystem side. If Malaysia Digital looks at investment, digital investment primarily, we have to look at how do we make sure that the Malaysian ecosystem that is prepared and completely ready to take advantage of the kind of digital investments that we bring into this country. Say, for example, we're looking at Meta here. They came here a few years ago, wanting to look and open up and expand that. There must be that local talents that are ready to be able to work in this and support that as a business. So this is our way to look at how Malaysia Digital drives the whole thing, and Saya Digital as a campaign would be able to support and prepare the rest of Malaysia for that kind of systems, ecosystem development that we are looking at. So again, but this is just in addition to that, it is not to replace the My Digital Blueprint. However, it exists within My Digital Blueprint, and we are empowered by a few things. If we were to look at Malaysia Digital, one would be catalytic projects that we will announce over time. Second would be a bit more on, again, the consumer or the shift from consumer to prosumer for Malaysia. So we need to be able to create solutions and technologies by working with the right partners and platforms for Malaysia to export eventually. Then the third one, to be able to look at other areas where we can solve these issues together with the right corporate partners and more private sector driven initiatives. So essentially they coexist between Saya Digital and Malaysia Digital, and we look at basically improving and stressing more of this as we go into rolling out Malaysia Digital as well.
Right, thank you, Encik Mahadhir. I think there's just two more last questions, and it's probably I'll just combine it for Nicole, perhaps, if that's possible. So the upskilling program that you announced today, is it just focused on certain sectors only, or is it open to all sectors of economy? And how would you measure success of this program at the end of the day?
It's open to all sectors of the economy, but we have different programs based on what we see as market needs. So for example, I mentioned about Pasar WhatsApp. We know that the B40 or the micro SMEs, they want to learn about digital upskilling. They may be limited with their bandwidth. WhatsApp is something they have very easily on their phones. They can learn through WhatsApp with very little need for bandwidth. So that's an example. But we also have more mature businesses who may have been using Facebook or Instagram for some time, and they want to learn more about Instagram, or may want to learn more about how to use Reels. That's where we also have something like Instagram, as well as Meta Boost, which is broader. It cuts across Facebook and Instagram. It's for small, medium businesses. And lastly, we have the Blueprint digital for certification. And that's really targeting people who want to be certified and want to also go out and be digital marketeers, or be able to secure jobs within the digital marketing space. So it is open to everybody, but we have looked at the nuances of the programs based on what we see as market needs and cover all sort of like the four sort of key needs that we've seen in the market currently. There is a website people can go on to where they can check it out and learn more about the details and the eligibility.
Thank you, Nicole. I think that's all the time we have for today, and thank you for both of your time to answer all the Q&As. So for the members of the press, if you have any more follow-up questions that we're not able to answer today, do send it across to us, and we'll address this after the event. And with that, we will close the launch of JomCelikDigital Dengan Meta for today. Thank you for your time. Selamat berpuasa, and we hope to meet you in person finally again. Thank you so much. Thank you.